Hi everyone. It's Sunday morning and I'm getting ready for the day. Yeah, it's been 3 months since my last haircut and it is out of control. So I wanted to just pop on here and just share a few things. I didn't post the last 2 weeks and there's a pretty good reason why. Because we are in the midst of starting a huge renovation project in our house. We're going to renovate our kitchen and uh, a powder room and a little bit in some other areas in the house. So there's been a lot of prep required for that, and since I'm working full time, it only leaves the weekends, and it just doesn't leave a lot of time for me to do any recording or editing, anything like that. I hope once the renovation actually starts, I'll have a little bit more free time on the weekends because the prep will have been done. So I'm hoping to get back on YouTube in a more regular way once that renovation starts. So I think I'm just going to just walk around and show you what we're doing and what we're in the middle of to give you an idea of my situation. And I think I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to post regular updates on my Instagram stories. I think that's probably what I'm going to do for anyone who's interested in following our project. You're welcome to join me over on Instagram. I'll leave a link in the comment in the spot down below for my Instagram handle. If you're not already following me there, you can jump on there. So stay tuned for a little bit of a tour of our space. This will be somewhat of a before, although it's pretty torn up already because we've been packing and emptying the kitchen the last couple of weekends. But it'll give you a good idea of our starting point at least and what we're facing. And yeah, it's a crazy time to be even considering doing this, but we started this way before the pandemic was announced, even though it was probably brewing. So we've just decided to continue and just do it. Just do it. It's hard enough. Just, we'll get through it. You're wondering, this is my best friend for my aching back in between all my reno projects. Thank you, Aleve. So I thought I'd give you a quick tour of the kitchen and the surrounding areas that we're going to have work done on, keeping in mind that this is half torn up in preparation. They're going to start on Tuesday. So yeah, it is a hot mess at the moment, but it'll be worth it in the long run. So here's what we're looking at. So here is our foyer area. So here's the front door. And what we're doing in here is we're going to tear up these old floors and replace it with the new flooring that's going to be throughout the renovated area. That's the only thing that's happening in here. But as you come in the front door, it's a straight shot. So we're doing all the floors in here and into the breakfast room. That's my husband. And so all these wood floors are getting torn up. And this is the kitchen area. So right smack in the middle of our kitchen, we have this island that has a wall behind it. And so we're removing this island because it really boxes you into the kitchen and it kind of destroys the flow a little bit. So this whole island is gonna get removed. The rest of the kitchen is gonna stay pretty much the same with the stove microwave, the sink, the dishwasher, but what we're doing is in between here and here, we're putting a peninsula. So our kitchen will now be like a U shape. And we're also reducing the size of this window. Right now, we have a beautiful view of the backyard, 3 windows, but it really limits the number of cabinets. We only have 2 here, We only have two there. We're taking the two end windows out, and then this center window is going to be all that remains, but it's going to go from the ceiling all the way to the counter. So it's going to be maybe a tiny bit wider and longer. So we'll still have a beautiful view out here. So this is all getting torn out, and these very dirty tile floors are getting torn out. This was probably what precipitated this change the most, because after 20 some odd years of living here, a lot of these tiles are broken. You can see right here, I replaced two tiles last Thanksgiving, just before we had company, because they were so broken up. They were almost, like if you walked through the kitchen barefoot, you were almost lifting tiles up off the floor. And every time I vacuum, grout comes up. It's just all broken up over here and down into the hallway as well. That's one of our main entrances through the garage right there. So this gets a lot of traffic. So all of these floors are going to be now the new wooden floors that are in here. We're actually going to do like luxury vinyl planking, and mainly because of the cost. And it is a little bit more, a little sturdier and not as delicate for like dog feet, water from the pool. Then this room is what we call our breakfast room, and we're stripping all this wallpaper and going to paint in here, and new flooring is going to go in here. So this has been a chore. I spent about 4 hours and accomplished this much of stripping paper in here, because I'm pretty certain that this paper was applied over raw drywall, so it is really hard to get off. So I'm going to do as much of this as I can, and the Reno guys are going to have to finish, but it is a lot of paper. So while not a whole lot is happening in this room, it's pretty labor intensive. So what I worked on yesterday is this area here. This was all covered in that same wallpaper, and I stripped this whole wall and over here and down here in roughly the same amount of time it took me to do that little tiny area over there. But I still have this whole wall to do, this whole wall to do. We'll see. I'm not going to get to it today. And then we're also going to do the powder room. So this is our powder room. We're going to gut this, put a new vanity in, a new mirror. We're going to paint in here, put a new light fixture. You know, that's pretty much what's going to happen in here. But I already stripped this paper off of here, which was not as bad as the other paper. So, gives you an idea how bad these walls are. I think they didn't strip, I don't know. It's a whole thing. So most of our cabinets are pretty empty. That's probably some stuff that's going to go down to the basement with us. But we've been emptying cabinets and packing up the kitchen. There's very little left in here. And you're probably going, where have you gone with all this stuff? So as you can imagine, you just tuck it anywhere that you can. So most of it's in here in the kitchen. Most of it's in here in the dining room. So all these boxes have my good china, my everyday dishes, and oh yeah, that's our makeshift bar because we need that. And these tubs are going to be our pantry. We're going to load our pantry into there today. So yeah, this is our dining room, and we're just piling stuff in here. And I think ultimately the refrigerator is going to get moved in here on this wall. So at least, so we have some refrigerator storage. And then in here is the living room. So we have a couple big bins here. a box. I'm emptying the coat closet. That's from the coat closet. So it's a lot. We did move this little chest out here onto the porch because it's usually right in here in this corner. But we need to empty that, so we just moved it out here so we didn't have to move it like too far. And it's a nice little spot here. And it doesn't really impact our porch too much. But we're also, because it's spring or almost summer, we're in the process of opening the pool. Oh my gosh, it's a lot. So this is about day 2 or 3. We're really just filtering and getting the water clear. And then once that's done, we'll do a full vacuum on the floor of the pool and we'll be pretty much open. Probably also have power washing that needs to be done out here. And fortunately, we were able to hire some landscapers this year. So all of that kind of trimming and mulching has been done. But I'm looking forward to using the pool this spring or this summer because I don't think a whole lot else is going to be going on. So this is the exterior view of the kitchen window. So we'll finally be able to remove this back part of an old window box, and they'll be able to repair the siding underneath there when they repair the siding for making the windows smaller. So, you know, the siding probably won't be an exact match, but it'll be close enough and it'll definitely be an improvement over how that looks right now. So I guess that's my very long-winded way of saying I may not be posting as regularly as I have been during this process. It's just going to depend on how much I get done when, but definitely hit me up on Instagram where I'll post some daily updates of some of the work that's being done and you can see what's going on and kind of get an inside view on the process, which I know is going to be really, really painful. But we're really excited about this. We've lived in this house over 20 years and have talked about getting this kitchen done for decades. So we are finally getting it done and I am super excited. So I look forward to seeing you over on Instagram and in my next video, whenever that happens to be, when things settle in a little bit, most likely. So stay tuned. I haven't left you. I'm just got a lot going on. See you soon. Mwah.